The Canon 90D with the Sigma 18-35mm f1.8 lens has got to be the best camera and lens combo setup yet. Let me tell you why. Hey, what is going on everyone? This is Rich. Welcome back to the channel. Throughout my years of college and my time at school, I've used the Canon 90D with the Sigma 18-35mm f1.8 lens, and I think this has got to be the best lens you could buy for this camera. So I have a pretty huge collection of photos and videos I want to show you. I kind of want to talk to you and take you through the best attributes of this camera paired with this lens, and essentially tell you why I love this setup so much. So let's get right into it. I shoot a lot of B-roll content of tech reviews on this channel, and all my products simply look amazing. There's something special about the 90D in a world full of mirrorless cameras on the rise. Some of you may ask, why am I still using a DSLR? Because the 90D packs mirrorless features in a DSLR body. Alright, so let's talk about this camera. It's just a tank. And the first thing the 90D and most other Canon cameras really nail down are the colors. I typically have my white balance on auto with some slight color correcting in post, but the raw footage from the 90D is far better than any other cameras I've tried yet. Canon has been in the camera industry for a pretty long time now, so they definitely perfected their color profile. And this is totally my opinion, but the detail and vibrancy that you take with this whopping 32.5 megapixel camera sensor produces some pretty sharp pictures and videos. Another thing the 90D is really great in is their dual pixel autofocus, and it's probably Canon's fastest focusing camera yet other than their mirrorless EOS R6. The autofocusing is insanely fast. You know, it locks onto a wide variety of subjects and can quickly refocus to something else. And I notice when I'm outside taking photos, you know, I can trust the 90D to quickly lock onto my target and shoot. There's not that much need to wait for my camera to focus for a really long time as compared to something like my old Canon Rebel T4i. And the same can be said about video mode. The autofocus is quick to lock on to still subjects and fast enough to keep up with vlogs and B-roll shots. I don't really ever have a problem unless it's super dark outside. All of my subjects are always in focus, and that's pretty important. And the design of the camera is delightful and ergonomic. You know, the 80D and 70D were very popular for its ergonomics. You know, many people praise those cameras for feeling great in the hand, and you know, the 90D is no different. The body is pretty much the same as the 80D with some slight design changes. It looks more aggressive. And lastly, the flip out touchscreen on a 90D is an underrated feature which I think should literally be on every camera right now. I'm actually filming with the 90D right now. I can see myself in real time as I'm recording, and it's just a game changer. And let's not forget about those hard to reach places. So maybe if you're trying to shoot something up above or something down low, maybe you're doing vlogs, or maybe you just want to see yourself. You know, the 90D with the flip out touchscreen is amazing and it's so useful. I rarely do take photos using the viewfinder like an old traditional DSLR. I use a flip out screen a lot more because it's just more accurate and the photos turn out the way I kind of want it. But with that being said, let's move on to the star of the show, which is the Sigma, the 18-35mm f1.8 lens. I absolutely love this lens. It has that perfect focal length of 18-35mm like the name says, which is great because that super wide angle is very fun to shoot when you're, you know, shooting indoors. Now 35mm also is what most cinematographers use. You know, it's the industry standard because 35mm manages to capture all the subjects in focus without too much distortion. And as for focal length, I personally love getting as close as I can to my subject as possible. I often interact with people I'm shooting with, so 18-35mm is a sweet spot for me. For example, to record YouTube videos, I'm only just an arm length apart. It's really great. Now, I also do want to mention that the 18-35mm on the 90D isn't exactly that focal length. It's more like 28-56mm due to the 1.6 times crop factor on the 90D, of course. I'll just illustrate it right here. Here's a photo and I'll zoom it to 1.6 times to see what you're losing out if you would be using a full frame camera. So with the 90D, you have to keep in mind you are losing the wider field of view, but I really don't think that it's a deal breaker, but you know, just something to keep in mind. And obviously what makes this lens super special is the constant f1.8 aperture. This is why the lens is pretty expensive. The f1.8 aperture is hard to manufacture for a lens as the lower f-stop gives us a blurrier background and sharper focus while allowing more light to enter the camera. Making a lower aperture lens is not easy at all. Alright, and let's talk about low light capabilities. The Sigma lens performs extraordinarily well in dark areas. The f1.8 still remains constant at 18 or 35mm. A lot of my subjects are able to be captured in great detail. You may have to bump your ISO up to the thousands range though. The only other problem would be that focusing is an issue, but if worst comes to worst, you can switch over to manual. But Sigma has put a lot of effort into making the new generation lenses attractive, both in terms of design and function. You know, the craftsmanship of the lens is indeed excellent, starting from the rugged brass mount that smoothly connects with the metal barrel to the smooth rubber focus ring in the front. You know, you won't get a feeling of cheap. Everything from the metal barrel is made of special composite material, which offers exceptional hardness. Now, you probably heard me hype this lens a lot, and I do have one gripe about this lens that kind of ticks me off. It's the autofocusing. The autofocusing does make a pretty audible sound when you're trying to focus, and it's constantly ticking. You know, it's not as silent as those STM motors that you would find on those Canon camera lenses. So, if you're gonna be doing vlogs or just recording stuff as is with no microphone, you're gonna hear some ticking noises because that's the lens focusing itself. It's not the most silent lens out there, but something to be aware of, as you can tell. So, be aware. But overall, this is a terrific lens and a great combo for the 90D. I'm open to hear your thoughts and opinions on this lens with the 90D. You know, go down in the comment section down below. Do you have this lens? Do you have the 90D? Are you thinking about pairing it? You know, what are your thoughts? Go down in the comment section and just talk. I'm interested to hear what you guys are saying. With that being said, if you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more content in the way. And until next time, guys, take it easy. Peace.